Alright, just setting up, making sure everything is working correctly. I'm going to try to make this a fairly quick video, mainly because I just don't have time to talk for too long. But look, I'm going to show people all of my really large miniatures, the massive ones, the ones that I didn't show in the other video that was around, just the big ones that I had, which I think covered a large, huge, and that's about it. So I'm going to do this fairly quickly. If you do want to ask questions, by all means do so, but I'll answer those questions throughout the chat and the presentation. I'm not going to do it at the end, I'm going to do it as we go, rather than break it up into pieces. Okay, just to make it clear. So we'll start. Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I'm not going to talk so much about Dungeons and Dragons. What I wanted to do was show you all of my really massive miniatures. Now, when I say my massive Dungeons and Dragons miniatures, these are miniatures that I have appropriated. They're either manufactured by Wizards of the Coast, or they are a miniature that I have used from a toy or a different line, say Pathfinder or Paizo, or something that I found that was really interesting in the Warhammer line, things like that, or even just a statue of some kind that I thought I would show you so you can have a look and see what I have. So we're going to get started and I'll show you what I've got. So first off, for those of you who are not familiar, I've got this this toy dragon. I found it was about $30 New Zealand dollars sitting in a toy store, and all I did was have my brother paint it. Now I think I've shown people this before. This is what is based on my icon. So that's the first thing. Don't need to necessarily go and buy official Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. Sometimes a simple toy is good enough to do the job, and if you want to put a base on it, you can. But that's the first thing I have. I've used this a couple of times, so that's the first one. Next, I'm going to go into a Pathfinder miniature. This is a Rune Giant. So this thing I picked up, oh gosh, I think I paid near $80 for it in New Zealand. And I've done a review on this, I did a showcase of it, and it's got its own little skirt. And I think I may have actually shown this in the last video, I can't remember. I think I actually shot a video on this, pre-recorded it, and then decided actually no, I should have made it live because I didn't like the pre-recorded video. It's weird, I know it sounds weird, but I just felt that I needed to do it again, so I have. So that is the Rune Giant that I have. Pretty hard to get now, and quite expensive. Next would be a Warhammer miniature, which my brother gave to me. This is a Red Dragon. I've also got a review or a video on the miniature itself. It's got its leg, or should I say its tail, curled around a tree stump and some rocks, and it's got torn wings. It's a Red Dragon, and yeah, I thought it was a pretty good miniature. And my brother really felt like I should have it, and I'm going to try to bring it not too close, but it's close enough so you can see it, get a profile of it. So yeah, and I've not used that miniature ever. Unfortunately, I just haven't found a time or a place to use it. Another one, this is a statue that I was given on my birthday, and I've used it as a miniature. And this thing is just simply a silver gold dragon. I didn't put it on a base, I didn't think it was necessary. And this is just made out, this is just your normal sort of trinket that you would find that you might put in your house. This isn't officially made by Paizo or Wizards of the Coast or anything like that. Really, really simple. Something you can use as a miniature. I appropriate things all the time. Okay, so next up, let's go with Tammet. So I think I've shown Tammet to people before. I did a video on that particular topic. Paid quite a lot of money for this miniature, about $80 I believe, although I think I had a bit of a discount. I think I'd done a favour for the store owner, so I got a slight discount. And I've used it only once, and that was during the Rise of Tammet. And I don't know that I'm going to get a chance to use it again. This is the problem with having miniatures that are a very specific thing, where it's not generic enough, is you don't necessarily get an opportunity to use it as often as you would like. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You know, can you get it when you need it? Who knows? Okay, and then the next one I want to show is This is a, I believe it is a brass dragon. This is a Wizards of the Coast miniature. This thing, basically, I picked this up because they had Tammet, and I was sold on the idea because I didn't have a really big dragon. I tend to use the adult, the elder blue dragon that I have for large dragons, but I felt like I needed something that represented a dragon that was good rather than just evil, so I've got this miniature as well. I haven't used it, no, I've used it twice. I used it when I was running the Isle of Dread, or Island of Dread. They found themselves a big red dragon, and I used this miniature for that, underneath the island. And I also used it when it showed up later on for another story element. I think it was the Umbra campaign. Okay, so this is not a Wizards of the Coast. Well, it is a Wizards of the Coast miniature, but it's not a D&D miniature. It's the Rancor from Star Wars. I realised that is not a D&D miniature, but it's super cool, and I've used it in my D&D games many, many times, just because the opportunity to stick a miniature in its hand and have it devoured by this thing, just, I love that idea. So this is my Rancor, and I have to say, personally, if you can get one, it makes a great D&D miniature, just because of its expression and its huge hands. It's got a chain on it, it's been broken off. Great miniature to have. Okay, so the next one is a Pathfinder miniature. This is a Shamalzian demon. I did a video on this topic, or this miniature as well. It's a little bit weird. It's sort of like an insectoid. It's a demon. Looks like a part werewolf, doggy, insect. And yes, it's got its own little tight tail for whipping and smashing things. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer so you can see it. But this thing is pretty large, and it's got a base which is just as large as the Rune Giant, and just as large as Tammet. And it takes up a bit of space, as you can see. Haven't used it yet, not yet. Okay, next is a giant. This is from Warhammer, and this particular giant is it came in parts. You had to put it together. My brother put it together for me and made it for me, and I've used it probably never. It's just so fragile, so it just sits in my drawer collecting dust, unfortunately. But you could hang all sorts of little bits and pieces off it, depending on what you wanted attached. I had hoped to get the cage with a little person on the side, but unfortunately lost those bits, so we didn't get to do that. And you can see he's got a pretty cool looking beard. So that's the giant that I've got. I believe it's a Chaos Giant. And then lastly, out of all of these miniatures, this is Orcus. This is, I would say, in terms of bulk and size, this is probably the most expensive miniature I have purchased. It's also definitely the largest. For those of you who are hoping to see the Colossal Red Dragon, I don't have that. I believe years ago one of my friends walked into the store, saw it on sale, and said, it's only $120 New Zealand, and I said, you've got to be crazy, you're going to get in so much trouble. So I never actually bought that miniature. I honestly, after seeing it a few times, I feel like it's not as exciting as I'd hoped. It's just got the sheer size. But I haven't used Orcus yet. I really hope that I do get a chance to. So that is all of my really large miniatures. And I don't really have anything else. My collection, like anything, has its limits. I would say between it, in terms of D&D miniatures that you've seen today, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 official D&D miniatures, and that's about it. Yeah, it does look pretty cool. I just wish I had an opportunity to use it. You just sort of got to get your campaign to a certain point where it's going to be really useful to you, and so far it hasn't been super useful to me. What I hope to do in the future though, because you guys who watch my channel know I make miniatures, I'm hoping to make some really big miniatures. Really solid looking things. But chances are they're going to be really long series of videos too. So I'm hoping to expand my selection. So look, that was it. So if you found this helpful, if you found it interesting. I don't know that you'll find it helpful. I think more maybe it's interesting. Looking at somebody else's collection is more about just being interesting because you haven't seen it before, or an opportunity to see it up close. I find myself watching collection videos quite often, and that's mostly on Blanco's channel, and I believe, is it Draven Swiftbow? He has a lot of collection videos as well. So yeah, if you found it interesting, then like the video, share it with somebody else if you think somebody else might be interested. If you haven't already subscribed and you like this sort of thing, look, I have a lot of miniatures, so I'm probably going to do another one, probably on some of the rarer, smaller ones that I have at some point. Hit the subscribe button and also the bell button to get notified when I do a new video, when I am live and when I publish a new video. If you want to support the channel, then watch more of my videos. I'm going to do another one tomorrow. I do one pretty much every day, and I've got about 400 other things. I don't do Patreon, but down in the description you'll find affiliate links. You can buy something online, you know the deal. You buy something online, I get a small commission, you pay exactly the same price, and with the Amazon ones you don't even have to go through the, you just go through the link, you can buy whatever it is. You don't have to buy the thing I linked to. And if you have any comments, now in the chat is your opportunity. Any questions you have, anything you want to share. Otherwise, after the live stream, you can share your comments, your feedback, and yeah, just let me know what you think. You can put that down in the comments section. And hey, everybody, have a good night, or good day, or good morning, and I will see you next time. So keep rolling those 20s. And we're going to sign out, everybody. You guys have a good day. There's nothing more to do. That's all I've got. See you later.